on CTV News at 5.
You got to be thinking about it ahead of time. You got to plan your day, get transportation. So this is a great option.
Cleared for takeoff. No more lineups for eligible Canadians who can now renew their passport online.
He's an individual that certainly wanted to show the hidden treasures of different parts of Nova Scotia.
And a real trailblazer. We remember Michael Haynes and retrace his steps in the hiking trails of Cape Breton.
It's a mild and muggy night ahead with some fog around and then showers for tomorrow.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, passport progress. Renewing your passport just got easier. All eligible Canadian adults can now do it online. So how do travelers feel about the upgrade and why did it take so long? CTV's Vanessa Wright joins us with the answers. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Maria. Well, it's no surprise travelers here at Halifax Stanfield are in favor of this change. And after speaking with experts, not only can it save you time, it can save you money, too. It's a headache, but at least now renewing your passport is at your fingertips.
I think it's great. It took me an hour in an office to get one last year.
Online passport renewals have existed since 2024 in Canada, but the service had a daily cap of 2,000 applications. Now, the federal government says all Canadians over the age of 16 can renew their passport online.
I think it's a great option, just the convenience. Obviously, the time it took to do before, I think it'll be a lot more convenient for all Canadians.
Sometimes you have to go to a different city to get it. If you're from a small town, you got to go. You know, it takes time.
I'm not too sure why people even need an option, but I guess the point being some can't or won't use technology, but fundamentally, it's a good move forward.
Canadians will need to be within the country to apply online and submit a digital photo from a commercial photographer.
Now, the question of why it's taken so long, you could say that about many different government services, why they're including driver's license, health cards, and so many other things. But maybe there's some security issues in place. We are talking about our passports after all. So I feel like if the government's in a good place where they feel comfortable with doing it, I'm okay with that too.
It comes down to personal preference. Many have no problem with the in-person process.
I did get mine renewed in February. I went to the office, and it took about 3 weeks to get it in the mail, which is very good.
Passport application fees will be reimbursed to people who don't receive their travel documents within 30 days.
Consider the fact that a couple years ago, especially during the pandemic, it was taking up 3 to 4 months to get your passport. Yeah, 30 days are free. Why not? You know, it's almost worth gambling online to see if you get a free passport.
At the very least, some say it's just nice to have the option.
The real crux of the matter is you have to have the passport. How you get it, how quickly you can get it, makes a difference to the individual.
Now, people who apply online can expect to receive their passport within 20 days. They'll also have the opportunity to track its progress online, too. Maria.
Thank you very much. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us at Halifax Stanfield International Airport this evening. All right, heading over to the anchor desk now where Todd Battis is standing by with a look at the headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. Coming up at 6, a stubborn wildfire remains out of control just outside Riverview, New Brunswick. Water bombers worked on it last night. Fire crews have been busy with it all day. Locals who live nearby are, well, concerned as they watch the teams from Riverview, Hillsborough, and the Department of Natural Resources battle those flames. We'll get an update from Derek Haggett at 6. The Nova Scotia government is implementing a new model for how it pays for RCMP services in the province. It wants to make major changes to the way the force carries out duties. This year alone, it will spend an additional $16 million to hire 25 new officers, and we'll have details at 6. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston was met by protesters once again as he continues his State of the Province tour this summer. This time it was a rather small affair, and he did enter discussions with people who came out to see him and protest the various number of policies that his government has brought in. You'll hear from them tonight in the newscast, and we have a conversation with gymnast Ellie Black, who has broken records at the Commonwealth Games. Good to hear from her You'll see that interview, Kayla Mitchell. You'll also see some big numbers behind you and talk of some rain to maybe help those wildfires.
I am very much looking forward to seeing that interview with Ellie Black. And for some in the Maritimes today, it may have been gold medal weather because it was a very warm day. There was certainly some mugginess in the air, though, as we take a look at temperatures right now heading into this evening. A lot of areas away from coastal locations are sitting up to around the mid to high 20s. Now, a few parts of the coast where the wind is coming in on shore, and it's been out of the south for today, and that's been around the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia and parts of the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick. Temperatures are being held around the low to mid 20s, but even there, because of the level of humidity, there's a humidex factor, so it's feeling into the 20s, even for those locations. Other parts of the Maritimes today with the humidity feeling into the high 20s and in some cases low 30s. Around the Moncton area today, the humidex at around 34. Having some moisture in the air, that's a positive for that wildfire situation to the south of Moncton. Same thing goes for the winds for today, which were on the lighter side. On the downside, of course, so around the Maritime region, it's basically no precipitation. Taking a look at the winds right now, a little bit variable in direction, but being sustained in most cases 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. A few wind gusts getting up between 20 and 30. That's about it. Over on radar and satellite, we are starting to see some increase in cloudiness, and cloud cover will continue to develop over the Maritimes so we move through tonight, and that's ahead of some showery conditions in the forecast for Thursday. More on that later on. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. We will see you later on. Right now, though, parents looking to buy their teen's first car may be tempted to go for the cheapest option, but as CTV's Pat Foran reports, experts warn safety should be top of mind.
When it comes to buying your teen a car, you might be tempted to buy a less expensive bare bones model, but car crashes are one of the leading causes of death for young drivers aged 15 to 24. You can't blame parents like Mio Hinkson for worrying. Her son Jordan recently got his driver's license, and she knows choosing the right vehicle for him is critical.
For now, he drives our car with us. But when he's ready, we're planning on getting something newer and safer.
And Consumer Reports agrees.
A parent should buy a car with as much safety as their budget allows. Also, a teen driver's first car should not be too small, not too big, and definitely not too fast.
CR and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety analyzed makes and models to find safe, budget-friendly car options. They identified 74 used cars that have performance and features designed to keep young drivers safe, but that also have high levels of crash protection if the worst does occur. On the list, popular picks like the Honda Civic, Toyota Camry, and Hyundai Tucson.
For teen drivers, features like automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning, and blind spot warning can provide them with an extra layer of protection while their experience is still developing.
New drivers will have to be added to your vehicle's insurance policy, and parents should expect a major increase in premiums.
We can see rates for teens as high as $5,000 or $6,000. Average is typically closer to $3,000.
To save on insurance with young drivers, they should complete an accredited driver training program, ask about student discounts, choose the right vehicle, and get quotes before purchasing. You can also bundle policies and explore usage-based programs. Along with safety features, Mio reminds her son nothing replaces good driving habits.
The main thing that I share with him is always safety, to just make sure that he is paying attention.
Keeping a clean driving record, avoiding tickets, and driving safely can also help keep your premiums from going up. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Thank you, Pat. Time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, we'll get on the water with the Dragon Flyers.
If I hadn't found this group to support me, I don't know where I'd be.
Cancer survivors make waves and chase victory. Their story is next. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A Canadian Dragon Boat team is training for the opportunity of a lifetime. As CTV's Spencer Turcott shows us, the team, made up entirely of breast cancer survivors, will compete alongside other survivors from around the world next month.
Every stroke tells a story of survival.
2, 3.
The Dragon Flyers Dragon Boat team with the Waterloo Paddling Club is made up entirely of breast cancer survivors.
I was diagnosed 6 years ago.
The cancer had spread to 2 out of 6 lymph nodes that had been taken.
My retirement plan quickly became a plan of survival.
Each woman has her own unique experience, but a common desire to help each other through their recovery journeys.
Excellent. If I hadn't found this group to support me, I don't know where I'd be.
I was just blown away and so inspired by seeing women that were 20 years older than me surviving. So I knew that I could survive as well.
The group of powerful women push each other on days they may not believe in themselves. And now they're putting that determination to the ultimate test.
We committed a couple years ago to take a full boat to France.
They'll head to the French Alps for the International Breast Cancer Paddlers Commission Festival at the end of August to race against more than 4,500 breast cancer survivors from 25 countries. But getting there isn't cheap.
It's around $100,000 to get just the core group of 24 to 25 paddlers plus our coach there.
So they've created an online fundraiser to help cover the cost of this rare opportunity, one that has given them something to work toward during some of their darkest moments.
When you're in the boat, no one's poking you, no one's prodding you, no one's scanning you. You don't have time to think about what you've been through or what you have going on next.
It's just unimaginable that at a point where I didn't even know if I was going to survive, now I'm going to be, and all the women along with me are going to be international athletes.
Athletes who have helped one another on their cancer journey, proving that sometimes the strongest way forward is being in the same boat.
That's it, reach it out.
Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Waterloo.
Oh, beautiful story, and best of luck in the French Alps. Not a bad place to visit.
I would say so. You know what? The Maritimes wouldn't have been a bad place to visit for today. We had lots of sunshine. We had some very warm temperatures. It was a little bit muggy, though I wouldn't go as far as calling it stifling, but you can notice the humidity out there. We're looking at a beach day here at Inverness, Cape Breton. I'll have more in the forecast after the break.
So the Retail Council of Canada and Cattle have released their annual consumer research on back-to-school shopping behavior in Canada. It appears 61% of parents have already started back-to-school planning or intend to begin soon. So how much can you expect to spend? Average household spending is said to range from $600 to $750 per child when electronics are included. Oof, that's steep, Kaylin. I think that's a lot.
I have yet to start thinking about back to school yet. Usually leave that until after the August long weekend, which is just ahead of us. So I guess that is something that is going to be on my plate very quickly here.
That's what we're all thinking about too. Like, how's the weather going to be for the long weekend?
Right.
Although we do need a little bit of rain right now.
We do. We definitely could use some moisture in the region. We're going to stick with a theme, though, of being down by the water for today. And so we're going to go to the wharf at Canso, Nova Scotia, where it was warm and humid, though temperatures were held down a little bit for these direct coastal areas by, as you can hear in this video, the wind. And it was out of the south for today, mostly sustained between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. So southerly wind is a little bit more onshore, up and down the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia and around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure has risen just a little bit from yesterday, but our next weather system is on approach. And this is a slow-moving low-pressure system that's meandering down around the northeastern United States. It's located within a broad trough in the jet stream, and the combination of that weather pattern is making its way a little bit further towards the east. And then for tomorrow, that is going to bring that low a little bit closer to the Maritimes. And we do have some showers in the forecast. Taking a look at things on radar right now, not much to show you across the Maritime region, but let's go look where that weather system is bringing in some wet weather, and that's around the northeastern United States. And this will give us an idea of sort of the nature of it. And in a lot of cases, when we get to the showers for tomorrow, they aren't expected to be particularly heavy, but there is some moisture being drawn up from the subtropical Atlantic into this weather system, and that does have the potential of producing at least some brief downpours. And that's showing up here on radar around parts of the northeastern United States. So these little flecks of the brighter colors, the yellows into oranges and reds. So as we take a look at our forecast timeline for the Maritime region, as we make our way through the night, it's mostly increasing cloudiness with some fog patches developing. Now, like last night, the fog is going to be thickest and most widespread around coastal areas, Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So be careful about some reduced visibility there during the late night hours and for the start of the day for tomorrow. Now, speaking of the start of the day for tomorrow, the first round of showers arrives in the southwest of Nova Scotia early Thursday morning. You can see on the forecast model some oranges and reds showing up, and that is the model trying to pick up on the risk that there could be a few brief downpours within the general area of showers, some higher rainfall rates. Now, these look like they'd be passing through within a span of about 2 to 4 hours. It doesn't look like heavy rain would be coming down in any one area, basically all day long. But if you get into a brief downpour, your visibility could come down while you're in it, and it could lead to some hydroplaning conditions on the roads. Now, the chance of a brief downpour is going to be highest tomorrow in the province of Nova Scotia, for the mainland Thursday morning, and then for Cape Breton late Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. I do expect there will be some showers that reach parts of Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick throughout the day tomorrow as well, but the risk of a downpour is lower for both of those provinces. Taking a look at the winds in the forecast. So for tomorrow, there is a little bit of a shift in the wind direction, becoming more easterly around the region, and they'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts between 20 and 40. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight around the Maritimes. It's a mild, somewhat stuffy night because of the mugginess in the air, and I've got cloud cover increasing and that fog developing. Most of the low temperatures tonight will be in the range of around 13 to 17 degrees, 13 up around Edmundston, the northwest, New Brunswick. And then here's a look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. So while the mugginess remains, the temperatures do come down on Thursday because of the increased cloudiness and those showers moving in. Most of the highs tomorrow, high teens, low 20s, but with the humidex, still in a lot of cases feeling into the mid to high 20s. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher for tonight. And tonight's Weather Watcher is coming in from 6-year-old Grayson McKinnon from Springvale, Prince Edward Island. Grayson has sent us a drawing of quite the weather day. We have a thunderstorm, we have some sun, and a beautiful rainbow. I like the temperature report as well, Grayson. Great job. Weather Watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So a Canadian researcher is leading a new study into the bond between people and animals. And as Stacey Haynes reports, how that connection impacts our health and well-being.
It may look like Molly and Ophelia are relaxing, but these canines are hard at work, providing comfort and connection.
The connection that you have with the animal that you may be not getting elsewhere. A lot of times if we took mental health or addiction, there may be stigma the person's feeling connected to that, and they're not with the animal.
Colleen Dell says the pandemic changed how many people connected with animals, as more turned to them for support.
We are seeing therapy dogs, for example, in the community. We're adopting more pets into our homes. They're becoming more important to us. And so the research has to catch up with that.
Now, with a $2.5 million federal grant, Dell is expanding her research on human-animal connections. She says therapy dogs will visit a variety of facilities where researchers will interview and survey participants and use creative methods to better understand the impact of those interactions.
We will have dog behaviorists, people who understand like the slightest little change in their demeanor and what it's saying.
Wendy Stober says the research will also help therapy dog handlers better understand their dog's experiences.
Therapy dog handlers, we kind of think that we know and have a good handle on what our dogs are feeling and their needs, but we don't really know that for sure. We're just guessing that we're doing it right.
And for Molly and Ophelia, their visits are helping researchers build a better understanding of the bond between people and animals. Stacey Haynes, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thank you, Stacey. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, we'll take this path.
I'm Ryan McDonald at the Louisburg Lighthouse Trail, one of many maritime trails hiked and written about by Michael Haynes, who wrote one final book about the topic he was so passionate about shortly before he passed away this spring. A look back at his life and legacy in the story that's coming up.
Welcome back. So we wrap up tonight by walking in the footsteps of a real trailblazer when it comes to appreciating the Maritime's natural beauty. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, Michael Haynes' final book on Cape Breton's hiking trails was his final gift to those who enjoy them.
He hiked hundreds of trails throughout the Maritimes.
For a good percentage of our population, and that's about 90% of the people who don't regularly walk and cycle, what helps them get started is someplace off-road.
And he literally wrote the book on where people might find the best places to get moving in nature.
He was, I think, just a real advocate for everybody getting out there and enjoying the outdoors.
Alan Shepard was Michael Haynes' publisher at Goose Lane Editions in Fredericton for about 8 years. He worked with him on his final book, the third edition of Hiking Trails of Cape Breton Island, which was completed shortly before Haynes passed away suddenly this past March at the age of 70.
We'd sent the Cape Breton book to press sort of a few weeks before that and had no indication of anything. So it was really quite a big shock to everybody in the office, yeah.
Haynes introduced people to trails that were more off the beaten path and to ones that are better known, like here at the Louisburg Lighthouse Trail, where today people were remembering his efforts to shine a light on places like this.
He's an individual that certainly wanted to show the hidden treasures of different parts of Nova Scotia.
Carter Stevens remembers walking this trail with Haynes years back and how his books did a little bit more to put places like this on the map.
I've walked a number of the different trails here in Cape Breton, but certainly not all of them. But by going through his books and seeing which ones I'm capable of doing, that makes a big difference.
And in a fall walk through a trail in Mount Uniacke, Nova Scotia for a Live at 5 story nearly 15 years ago, Haynes explained in his own words why he dedicated so much of his life to making sure the beauty of these places was put on paper.
We are spoiled here, and I don't think we understand how truly fortunate we are.
Fitting words from a man who wrote plenty of them about the hiking trails he called home. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. And, well, to Michael's family and friends, our condolences. What a legacy he has left. And, of course, Michael was a friend, and he was on our show several times throughout the years, and we certainly appreciated his insights.
He followed his passion, right?
Yes, he followed his path, if you will.
That's right, sure did. Hiking, next couple of days. It's going to be some showers in the region.
Okay.
We need it. So we'll be talking more about that coming up CTV News at 6, and then, of course, taking a look as well at the upcoming long weekend.
Excellent. We'll see you and Todd at 6 o'clock. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching. The national news is next.